The Oblivion Remaster just leaked. It's real. And it's not just a remaster. They've redone some of the mechanics. They even have a deluxe edition with all the DLC that also includes horse armor and some additional stuff we've never seen before. But here's the weird part. Bethesda aren't actually making this themselves. So what exactly is this remaster, and should we be excited or worried? Personally, after seeing these screenshots, I am now excited. Before, I had no idea what to expect. Now, before we take a look at these leaked screenshots, the new gameplay systems, and a few very strange details hiding behind this remaster that nobody's really talking about, like the Fallout 3 remaster that's also coming, and the Elder Scrolls 6. So here's the deal. The Oblivion Remaster is real, and it's in Unreal Engine 5. And that also means that the Fallout 3 Remaster is probably coming out soon too, and it's probably also going to be in Unreal Engine 5. Now, this is no longer a rumor. It was actually first spotted in a leaked court document back when Microsoft was purchasing ZeniMax, who is Bethesda's parent company. And this happened pre-lockdown, which is why all the games on this list got delayed. The Oblivion Remaster was actually planned for 2022, along with Indiana Jones and the Starfield DLC, which actually ended up coming out last year in 2024. So they were both delayed by 2 years. So the only game here that has yet to be released is the Oblivion Remaster. And this was being developed not by Bethesda, but from Virtuos. And these are the same folks helping with the remaster of Metal Gear Solid Delta. And they're known for porting and assisting on big projects. And these screenshots were data mined from the Virtuos website by the Redditor called Turnip. If you go to the site now and try and find them yourself, they've now been taken down and blocked. So yes, these screenshots are definitely legit. This is the official remaster of Oblivion. I'm gonna relive my childhood. It's also going to be coming out on Xbox Series X, S, PS5 and PC. And you can see if you look very closely at the blurry bottom here, all of those platforms, including day one on Game Pass. I'm actually thinking it's really cool to see PlayStation on here as well, specifically PS5 though, which is interesting. But that raises a big question. Can a support studio truly capture the magic of a game like Oblivion? Or are we about to get a technically gorgeous remaster that looks beautiful that somehow still feels hollow, like it's not a Bethesda game? But obviously we know Unreal Engine 5 is an absolute beast, and these new images show it off. The lighting, the textures, the world designs, all look jaw-dropping. But we all remember the scene of when you're exiting the Imperial sewer after the initial prologue of the game, and you have your first look at the open world of Cyrodiil. And you'll clearly notice side by side that the Unreal 5 engine, while graphically it looks really impressive, also with a much better draw distance, like you can see the ruins on the mountaintops. One thing that dawned on me though is that there's actually not many trees there, which I found quite surprising because the forests of Cyrodiil are very dense. But in this particular screenshot, I don't know what the settings are graphically, but there's not many trees compared to the massive forest in front of you on the original game. Also, a lot of people have pointed out that you have this kind of sepia filter, almost like you're playing Fallout New Vegas, compared to this kind of turquoisey blue color, which just feels like England to me. And I don't know if this is just the lighting that the screenshot was taken in, but the game has a different feel, you know? It doesn't feel like the original. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because it still looks incredible. And especially when I look at the other screenshot with the two Spriggans, you can see the lighting there is a bit more akin to the original, but it's still got a lot more warmer undertones in the color palette. But this isn't just a visual remaster. They're actually tweaking the combat systems to feel more modern. Obviously, archery is getting a full overhaul. If you played a marksman in the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, you didn't do it for long because it was terrible and it was hard to play like that. So understandably, Todd Howard has given us the option to once again play as a stealth archer. And I suspect archery will be similar to Skyrim, but with more stagger and impact physics. In fact, hit reactions have now been added to the game, so your attacks are going to feel more impactful in combat. I really want to see more actual gameplay of that because obviously we don't know if that's going to be good or not until we see it. Stealth will now show highlighted indicators and there will be improved stealth mechanics in general. I assume we can expect it to be similar to Skyrim, which is definitely not a bad thing, and that would be far more enjoyable than the original Oblivion stealth system. Though I'm kind of curious if they've kind of taken more of a step towards what The Elder Scrolls 6 will look like stealth gameplay wise compared to what Skyrim was like. And things get even more interesting when they talk about blocking, because it's apparently been redone to feel more Souls-like. And I don't really know what that means. It could mean that we have the option to parry, and blocking takes up more stamina, so maybe we can be staggered just like in Skyrim. The stamina system has apparently also been modified, so maybe it's more punishing like a Souls-like game, or the combat is more about stamina management. Now before I say this next part, I do want to say this is a rumor, but I have heard rumors that they also redid a lot of the dungeons, because a lot of the dungeons in The Elder Scrolls Oblivion were just a very simple tile set, and everything really started to look very similar and samey. Like once you've been in 10 caves, you'd kind of visited quite a few of them. All the Aelid ruins were quite similar, and if they turned those dungeons more into like the Skyrim experience where each one felt pretty unique, that would be a massive step in the right direction. But that remains to be seen. Overall, it sounds like they're doing what Skyrim mods have done for years, but officially, which begs the question, are we getting a definitive reimagined Elder Scrolls Oblivion, or a Frankenstein that tries to fix too much and loses the charm? Well, overall, I think, based on what I understand here, that they've modified and changed just the right things that were really bad and didn't age well to bring the Oblivion Remaster into 2025 and make it playable and enjoyable. Like, this is exactly what I would have changed had I had the chance to. But it's not just that, because we also see the new armor sets. Now, I'm pretty sure, looking at it, that this could be mithril armor. It looks very elven, in fact. And they also have a mithril bow and quiver, which was an armor set you could get in The Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Now, I was talking to my wife about this picture, and she was like, oh, that's Skingrad. I'm like, yeah, that's literally the symbol for Skingrad. And we also get attacked by goblins. Now, someone said on Twitter that these goblins didn't look very good. This is exactly how they looked in The Elder Scrolls Oblivion. This is true to the original game, which I am here for. But I can see from the armor here that these textures, everything about this armor set, the 3D model, the textures, everything is completely new. So they've clearly redone all of the armor sets. You can also see the parallax textures here, where it kind of looks like 3D floor tiles on the bridge itself. We also get to see the Oblivion Remaster case, and it is a beautifully designed, like Game of the Year edition Skyrim looking case, where you've got the Imperial City and Merunes Dagon, Realm of Oblivion, sort of the silhouette of it behind it. Just very well done piece of artwork that. One of the most impressive screenshots we see, which also shows the draw distance, is the picture of the Imperial City. And the outside rocks and environment have all just been redone, and I imagine they just feel so much more interesting than that really flat, linear, sort of plain environment we were walking across before. This is also at sunset as well, and interestingly, you have the Skyrim Aura in the background. Don't really know why that's there. I thought it was unique to Skyrim. And then you have the actual entrance to the Imperial Sewer. And this is a zoom in of just how lush the vegetation and ground flora is in Unreal Engine. Like, you can see the pathway, you can see the details of the environment. Like, there's a little skeleton here with all the parallax ground textures on the rocks and environment. I know this is a pixelated image, but my God, it looks good. All the ivy and dead trees versus alive ones on the grass. Oh my God, it just feels like I need to go there and explore it, you know? And then we see the redesigned Oblivion Gates, still very much true to the original though. I think this is the one near Skingrad. Oh my God, it just feels so nostalgic to look at this, which tells me they've done a good job. But this gate looks fantastic. You've got the scorched area around it and the singe marks and everything. Now we do get to see as well the Oblivion Deluxe Edition. And this clearly includes 2 new armor sets, which you can kind of see. It looks like the Daedric armor set. I don't know what this gold one is. It could be the new Imperial Dragon armor being redesigned. And then it looks like there's a Daedric axe of some kind. And there's definitely a Daedric weapon here. And we'll probably have like new madness weapons. Like, all the weapon sets are going to be redone, which is really cool. And there's the dreaded infamous horse armor. I can't even see what horses these are. But clearly there's even more horse armor for getting the deluxe edition. And then finally, I don't know what this is at the bottom here, but it looks like it could be some kind of DLC or story or added on content. I have no idea. And then there's another picture over here which shows those 2 armor sets, the weapon set, and one horse armor. Now obviously nostalgia is a powerful thing, and changing too much can mess with the vibe of the original game. Are you guys excited for this experience, or based on what you've seen, or are you nervous? Are you nervous we're going to lose those weird Oblivion memes and quirks of the original game? Because Oblivion really was a meme machine, and we all loved it for that. Now clearly this is part of Bethesda's strategy to release Oblivion Remaster to help bridge the gap between Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls 6, and I am here for it. I assume they're also thinking the same thing with the Fallout 3 remaster to bridge the gap between Fallout 4 and Fallout 5. And I know after the success of the Fallout TV show that internally they have been talking about pushing that forward even earlier. Now obviously with the Fallout 3 remaster, Fallout 3 was originally made by Bethesda, whereas Fallout New Vegas was made by Obsidian. I know New Vegas is a fan favorite, it's also mine, but I actually love the story in Fallout 3. As my first Fallout game, so I am still very excited to experience that too. But according to this rough timetable, it's probably coming out 2026, but after the Elder Scrolls Online. And I wouldn't be surprised if they even space that out another year later. Who knows? We just know it exists. So let me know what you're most excited for in the comments section, and thanks for watching. Now it is rumoured that the Oblivion Remaster will launch on the 21st of April this month, so very soon indeed. And since it's also coming to PlayStation 5, that means the game might not have modding. If you remember, Sony didn't allow any third-party assets, so you could only mod the game with what already existed in the game. So you could have like an invincibility cheat, but you couldn't have like third-party mod assets. So it may be that PlayStation users are once again limited in the mods they can have, if mods even do exist for the Oblivion Remaster. But Bethesda has changed their monetization model with their games to support and push paid mods. So for that reason, I kind of think it will be moddable, but only time will tell on that one.